questions in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, madam, I already put my question 3 times. That's why I'm asking, madam. Sorry.
So I'm just going through the questions now. I apologize it's taking a while, but there are quite a number of questions. So let me go on to the next one. If my medical is done along with stage 1, will they check medical as well? So no, the medical assessment does not form a part of stage 1. The medical assessment forms part of stage 2. If you have already completed your medical, please submit it with your application. This will allow us to finalize your application sooner than later.
Madam, I got visa before March 18. Can I travel to Canada?
Sorry, can you put your question in the chat, please? I will only answer questions in the chat. Thank you. Next question. Or you will wait for medical and bio to happen all at the time. No, so if you are able to submit your medical and if you've already done biometrics for a previous application and it's still valid, please submit all of that information with your application. If we are able to find, like I said, we, as part of the new measures, we are prioritizing applications that are already complete, meaning it has all of the documents for the eligibility decision, as well as the medical and the biometrics. So if you have all of those documents, it's to your benefit to submit it all at once. And we can make all of those assessments all at the same time. We will not delay those assessments just because there is a two-stage process. The only time we will apply this two-stage process is when you are not able to submit those admissibility documents or admissibility requirements like medicals and biometrics. Next question. Which visa should I apply for my 2.5-year-old daughter? So I assume she'll be accompanying you to Canada as an accompanying dependent. So because your child is not yet of school age, she can apply using a visitor visa. Next question. Can file be lodged minus IELTS results if results awaited? Yes. So right now you can submit your IELTS results later. I realize that across India, IELTS centers are slowly reopening, but in some areas there's still quite a lockdown situation. So you may not be able to access these centers to do your IELTS test and then obtain the results. We understand this. So please submit as many documents as you can. Just keep in mind that until we receive those results, we are not able to make the AIP decision. Next question. The online visa applications for general category does not ask for English language. If I apply under general category, is it still... I'm not sure what this general category is. Maybe this means the subject, that they're not... that they're taking a general course. So for anyone wishing to study...
There are two ways to apply for visa, SDS and journal category. I have mentioned that journal category.
Okay, so it's the non-SDS then. Sorry, yes. So it's non-SDS you're asking about. So non-SDS IELTS results are still required, or some sort of English language test results, still mandatory. And Duolingo tests are not accepted. Next question. Also, there are rumors among students that uploading Duolingo tests will get us visa refusal. Is this true? As I said, Duolingo tests are not accepted, so please do not submit them. We require IELTS or TOEFL, and in some circumstances, PTE, when you give us access to those results online. Next question. IRCC say if application are not complete, you should apply through general category, but since I have IELTS 6 in each band and also got GIC submitted and paid 1-year tuition, the application automatically goes to SDS. Will there be a problem? So if you didn't indicate in your application that you wanted to apply under the SDS category, it will be in the non-SDS stream for processing, but don't worry, the assessment will still be the same. So when the officer gets it, who works on the non-SDS stream, and they note that you have all of the SDS requirements, they may just assess you on those things. Next question. Considering the pandemic situation, would Indian students absolutely need language proficiency tests such as IELTS, Duolingo, PTE? If schools have started accepting their own language tests, would it be considered considered for visa purposes without having to give the above mentioned exams. So there is no difference in how we are assessing applications now compared to pre-pandemic. And that includes showing that you have the language ability to actually be successful in your program of study. This factors into the criteria you have to meet, that you have to satisfy us you are a genuine student. Next question.
It was my question. Just to clear a certain fact, that certain schools are also accepting their own language tests, given that the IELTS centers are not yet open. So they'll be having a proctor administered exam. And if the student passes that exam, they'll be issuing the offer letter. So in that case, do the students still have to submit the IELTS Duolingo PTE results, or because the schools have themselves assessed the situation and they are ready to offer them the offer letter based on their own exams, could the students apply for visa or not?
No. Please submit IELTS or TOEFL or PTE results. Those are the language test results we are accepting. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
So next question. Will there be any more updates for the students who are accepted from travel ban, ensuring their entry to Canada for fall semester? So at this, we'll have to wait for Ottawa to decide whether or not they will extend the travel ban or end it. So regrettably, this is not in my hands. I'm unable to provide an update on this one. So you'll just have to monitor our website on the traveler statements themselves, and if there are any updates.
Can I connect with you? Hello?
Sorry, can you mute your phone, your mic, please?
Sorry?
Can you mute your mic, please?
Sorry, no, I'm here for Jan intake actually.
Sorry, was that your question?
I'm actually applying for Jan intake. So when are the visa embassies going to open in Bangalore?
The VAC, we have no ETA on VAC reopening. So I see that question a lot in the chat. We have no ETA on VAC reopening. Please visit the VFS
can
website.
Can we know any estimated date so when it can reopen?
We do not have an estimated date for you. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so
Students
we're a
get
little over time.
visa before March 18. They
Can you? I'm sorry. Can you put your question in the chat, please? Thank you. Okay. Let me go back to our questions here. Will I get my visa for September as I applied in March? So number one, you need to ensure that the LOA you have submitted to us is still valid. If, for example, that LOA you submitted to us back in March was for the summer semester, that LOA is technically no longer valid. So you should have submitted to us an updated LOA for us to be able to make that AIP decision on your application. That really is the main point of why there's a lot of delay with any previous applications that were already submitted to us for a previous semester. So like I said, for anyone online, if you had submitted to us an application with a start date for the spring or summer semesters and that LOA is no longer valid, please submit to us an updated LOA with your deferred start dates as soon as possible. Next question. Sorry, can you please put your question in the chat? I will only answer questions in the chat. Thank you.
Madam, how to submit a new LOA?
You can use our website and use the web form, or you can also email us.
Okay, which email?
Please check our web page for email details. Thank you. So next question.
Ma'am, I want to ask.
Sorry, can you put your question in the chat, please? I will only answer questions in the chat. Thank you. So next question. I have applied for a study visa with PTE 65 score under non-SDS in Conestoga College. So I'm assuming that you're asking if this score is sufficient. So basically, our minimum standard when we're processing visa applications is that you have a score of 6.0 in each band. So for whatever English language test test that you took, compare that to what an IELTS 6.0 is, and that will let you know whether or not we might find that acceptable score for English language test results. Next question. Will I get my visa for oh no wait, sorry. That's the same question here. It seems it's repeated multiple times. Here we go. What if the travel ban continues for Indian nationals till January, February 2021? So this I have no information on. This is a possibility. It could end. I honestly don't know. Your schools can provide you, details on what they plan for your program, like whether, January 2021 might still be online or if they're really moving towards in-person classes. So the situation in Canada is a different situation than what's happening in India in terms of the pandemic. So that'll give you an indication really of, whether the reopening of the country and classes resuming more normally, really open, like the schools are opening up, that'll give you an indication of whether or not that's in the foreseeable future. So next question here. If I have authorized medical and all documents for the SDS category, except biometrics, no, because biometrics is not part of SDS. So for SDS applications, yes, you do need biometrics, but it is not required upfront. What you do need to submit for an SDS application upfront is that authorized medical plus all of those supporting documents. So as long as you have the medical and those supporting documents, you can still qualify for SDS. You do not need biometrics to qualify under SDS. Okay, next question here. This is a long one. I came in India for my vacation in February, and due to lockdown, I'm unable to travel back currently, and I'm on my PGWP. It got approved in December 2019. Lockdown was unexpected, and my planned return was on March 3rd week. I didn't stamp my visa and passport. By April 30, 2020, my current visa got expired. I'm unable to travel back. I've already mailed to Delhi Immigration as per guidelines. I applied for TRV as returning worker and got biometrics instructions. Now VACs are closed and I'm unable to give biometrics now. Could you please help me return back? Okay, so there's a lot of things in this question. So I assume that you have a work permit extension document. This is your PGWP, and it's still valid beyond the validity of your visa and your passport.
Hello, ma'am. That was my question. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
That was my question. So, I was on my student visa until April 30th. So, before, so I applied for my work permit, and it got approved in December. So for my vacation, that's why I came here. So, what's now, my current situation is I got biometrics invitation letter, but VACs are still closed. So, what my concern is my permit got approved before March 18, right? And I'm having valid permit approval letter with me. So, am I able to return back Canada as soon as possible, or should I have to wait until VAC is open? Because since it's been 5 and 6 months, I'm waiting here to give my biometrics.
If you don't have valid biometrics results, you need to provide biometrics results. Regrettably, you will have to wait for VACs to reopen.
Okay. So still I have to wait long, right?
Correct. So,
hello.
Moving on to the next question. Sorry.
Yeah,
can you
so,
put your question in the chat, please? Can you
I
put
put.
in the chat, please?
Yes, my question was there in the chat, but I'm not sure. I think you have skipped those question. I think I see you are in the current question, but my question was already pasted 3 times. So it's just a kind of a yes or no question. So the process currently now is we'll get an AIP, we'll continue our online education, and once the VAC opens, we'll get a visa and travel to Canada. So is that the complete process?
Yes, you will travel to Canada once either the travel restrictions are lifted and you have actual in-person classes that are starting.
We have an AIP, that's kind of a confirmation from Canada government, and we can provide that to college to start our online classes.
Correct.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Good evening, madam. My question also escaped.
So, sorry. Can you put your question in the chat, please?
Madam, I have posted my question 10 times in the post chat also. That's why I'm telling you, madam. Just one question. I will not ask any more question. I have submitted my visa file, study visa file on 1st April. So, can I know when I can get my phase 1 approval?
When you can get your what approval, sorry?
Phase 1, like stage 1 approval.
When your AIP approval. Sorry, the eligibility documents in your application, we will endeavor to get that AIP approval to all of our fall semester starters before the actual fall semester starts. So within the next 6 weeks is our hope.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes.
So it is a 6 weeks timeline, ma'am.
Sorry, so we will endeavor to complete all of those AIP decisions by that time. So like I said, please ensure that you have all of the eligibility documents that discussed in the presentation. And in case you have already an expired LOA on there, please send us your updated LOA as soon as possible.
Hello. Actually, all documents are like current one.
Sorry.
So
Please put all the questions in the chat, please. There's
the same question, ma'am. The same question, like I have applied last week. So what is the timeline to receive the first stage visa?
There is no timeline at this time. We are endeavoring to get it all done before the fall semester starts. At this time, there is no time frame. There is no processing service standard.
Ma'am, is online study mandatory or optional?
Sorry, in the chat, please. In the chat, please. So let me move on to another question. Sorry, I will just go through the questions because there's too many questions being asked right now. So if I have an authorized, this one's already been done. Is GIC, hello, can you hear me? Okay, is GIC compulsory and non-SDS category under new rules? So GIC is not compulsory for non-SDS category. So
as you told that this all the files without any required documents will be
can you
converted
please
to
put it in the
non-SDS
chat?
files.
Can you
Ma'am, I
please
have
put
told
this
that you
question
didn't
in the
reply,
chat?
so that's why. Ma'am,
Sorry.
it is a little bit important. That's why. Because as you the
sorry,
point you
in the
told,
chat,
like,
please. Thank you.
all the files without any required documents will be converted to non-SDS. Then is it necessary that we already those students?
Sorry, can you please put the question in the chat? Thank you.
Okay.
So let me go on to the next question. Is SDS application processing still within 20 days? No. The processing standards that we normally have pre-pandemic are no longer applicable during this pandemic situation because of limited resources at the mission. So please bear with us and we will try to get you your approval before the fall 2020 starts. So I'm going to do one last question because we're over time. If I can find a question here. So I have applied for my, if I'm doing my course partially online, will it affect my work permit validity? So if your course is partially online, if you're a full-time student, so this is where the stage 1, stage 2 may apply to you. So full-time, semester online for fall 2020, and that time will count towards your postgraduate work permit if that program of study will usually allow you to qualify for that postgraduate work permit. So I'm sorry that I'm unable to get to all of the questions in time, but we are out of time. I thank you for tuning in. We will try to schedule another one of these because I know that a lot of people were trying to get on, but the webinar was full and wouldn't allow any more participants. So please tune in to our Facebook page for the next webinar, and we will hopefully answer any of your unanswered questions through there.
Is the webinar recorded? Is the webinar recorded?
Hello.
Could you please answer that? Is the webinar recorded? Would you share that?
I think she left.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?